Charlie sees the light, and we say hello to new villains, the Pioneers. We're talking all about it starting right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, special!
Ryan, you surprise us, man, with this amazing music to just get us in the mood for this after show.
I love it!
How awesome is this?
We're back!
Yeah, we're definitely back. And this was much needed because we had that absence last week, and it's been a while since I've been on.
Labor Day probs, we say.
Yes,
but we got 2 episodes tonight.
We do. And these were 2 very different, but 2 pretty good episodes.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, I am your host, Benny Adams, and with me, she knows everything about Fear the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead. Give it up for this amazing person.
April Whisenhant.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, can he say my last name?
I was like, I'm not going to take the chance. I'm just going to let her introduce herself.
You're so funny.
Yeah,
I was going to do you like that.
I try. But we have a lot to talk about today, including some news and gossip that is going to be very, very juicy. But first, I want to get your opinion on these 2 episodes.
You know, episode 12, I think I'm guessing all of our lovely viewers in chat, I have the chat pulled up, by the way, so let us know what you thought. Probably can all agree, episode 12, a little slow. Yeah. We met Rabbi. I just call him Rabbi, I guess. Different, but they gave us something new. They gave us Fear's version of Father Gabriel, I guess.
Yeah.
And then episode 13, a lot more happening in that. They tied up some pretty bows for us and killed a lot of people as well. Right. So last night's episode 13, I really, really, really enjoyed because it was a good episode to kind of move the story forward. Right.
Yeah. Episode 12 followed along with all the other previous episodes where it was just about positivity, looking forward. Everything's gonna be all right. Mm-hmm. No one died. Kind of slow. It wasn't an awful episode, but episode 13 just bam,
blew it out of the water.
In your face. Left you on the edge of your seat. You were shocked. You were in disbelief. Mm-hmm. So definitely episode 13, hands down, was my favorite. But we're going to start off a little bit with episode 12.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the rabbi and Charlie. She ran away and she meets this rabbi. He is all alone by himself. And he's actually kind of a badass because, you see him, he's praying, and then you see him just pull out this gun, this huge gun, and he destroys these walkers. What did you think about the rabbi when you first met him?
See, I didn't immediately get Father Gabriel vibes, but now that's all that I have in my mind for some reason. But I was like, this is interesting that they're kind of going in this direction. I thought it was a good way to have Charlie do something that was away from everybody else, but also... And clearly they're gonna, now that I've seen episode 13, it's tough because I've seen that and because I'm like, okay, Rabbi, you're a BA, like, I love you. Maybe just seeing episode 12, I wouldn't have thought the same thing, but it was a good way for them to kind of give us a new character that seemingly has a good background, but I mean, like, he's legit, like, he follows all the Jewish principles and sets quote unquote alarms for the, to make sure that he's recognizing all of the Jewish traditions and things that he's supposed to do. He's an interesting character, I guess. What do you think about him?
He is. I liked him. So one thing that I noticed about this episode is there were a lot of similarities with this episode and just The Walking Dead in general. So Rabbi, he's very similar to Father Gabriel, and then we have why am I blanking on her name? We have Charlie. And I've always said this, Charlie reminds me so much of Rick's son.
Carl?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Carly.
Are you serious?
Charlie is like, nah. They're similar in the sense of they both kind of well, no, Carl definitely did whatever he wanted, but he did it because most of the time he was trying to help the group.
Right.
Charlie is starting to do that now. That's what she did in episode 12. She ran away, let's say, because she wanted to go and help find a place for the group, because that's where they are right now. They don't have a place because they're out helping everybody. So what she was doing was to try and help the group, which is very Carl-like.
Yes.
But like, she is just not prepared like Carl. And when she left, I was like, this isn't gonna help. This is almost gonna burden everyone. And it ended up working out, we know. But I was like, it's gonna burden everyone because now they're just worried about you leaving. And now John and June are leaving what they're doing and leaving helping these other people so that they can go out and find you. If Carl went, people let him go. Like, not at first, maybe not when he was Charlie's age, but yeah, they are similar for sure.
See, I feel like when he was Charlie's age, they were very similar because they were both in that adolescent phase where they thought they can just handle anything.
I can do anything.
And that's what Charlie is doing right now. And I felt for her because, you know, she just wanted a place that she could call home. She didn't want to continue to just drive around and move from spot to spot. What did you think about just her just wanting that one special place?
I mean, I totally get it because they kind of need it. We always crave on this show, and maybe it's because we do have two examples to go off of.
Yeah.
But we have been craving for a while for them to just be somewhere. They've been separated for so long. I thought with the plane thing they were all coming back together, but now it's like they're doing their own things again, and they're doing it for a good reason, to show us, you know, what everyone kind of individually is going through. Like, we have Alicia and Strandoff doing their thing and painting trees and whatever. But I guess I liked the idea of her wanting them to all be back together or have a place, because that's what I feel like we need next, rather than them just kind of going every which way. They do need to have some sort of home base. So at least she was trying to do that, but I don't think the church is going to work out for them.
No. I mean, it's so funny in the Walking Dead universe. What place ever works out for them?
Well, it like can for a little while. Alexandria seems to still be working.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. But so then June and John, they come into the picture, and you know, they tell her, you know, you got to come with us. You got to come with the group. She finally decides, you know, this is where I belong after, you know, the walkers infest the church. The rabbi, he joins the team. Did you think the rabbi was going to survive, or?
Well, I knew they wouldn't. This is just, again, as a viewer of the show, I knew they weren't going to kill him off that fast.
Same, yeah.
But then again, I always think that, and then they do sometimes. But yeah, I think he'll be a good addition to the group. I am glad that they kept him alive. He brings definitely a different dynamic, I guess. But I do feel like that's essentially what just, hey, let's meet the rabbi, let's talk about him, and here's a new member of our group.
Yeah, and there are a lot of new characters on this show, which makes me very worried, because you're gonna have to trim the fat sooner or later. So that's gonna be, I don't know, I'm a little worried. But speaking of a lot of characters, Logan, he finds out where they're hiding the gas. And I wasn't expecting that to happen so soon. Were you?
No, I assumed that we met Logan, I feel like, not too long ago. And I feel like we met him in the sense of, okay, this is going to be a long-standing villain person, whatever, in the show. Leave it to them to turn it around on us right at the end. But I wasn't expecting him to find it, just because it seems like they've had no way of, you know, knowing where they were. But that's also something else that I didn't understand is how, at the time anyway, just thinking of episode 12, how they found the place, because everyone's been so careful about saying where they are on the walkies and things like that. But then also, Charlie over the walkie at one point said, hey, I'm here directly at this synagogue, so how is it okay for her to say exactly where she was, but it hasn't been okay for anybody else to say where they were? I mean, I guess it didn't end up mattering, but
maybe because no one else was there, and that wasn't like the important place for Logan to find. I don't know.
I think what worries me is because it just seems like they're getting a little lax maybe.
Yeah.
And for Charlie, and y'all all know out there, and I get all kind of hate for it, but I'm not Charlie's biggest fan because I'm still not over
because what she did. Yeah.
My boo.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, you're gonna be the one to do this, Charlie. Like, you're gonna be the one to kind of ruin it and start saying your location.
Yeah.
It was fine, but still, didn't make me happy.
Yeah. So we kind of see a backstory of Logan when he was trying to help people, and he was trying to help this one woman, and he was too late. The walkers got to her. What did you think of Logan as a whole, as a villain? Did you like him as a villain?
No.
Okay.
Until last night's episode, and I was like, this is a good villain.
I was like, finally.
I feel like they didn't do the greatest job with him. I don't mean that in a negative way, but maybe there was a little more potential there now that we know what we know. Like, I can appreciate it more and appreciate him more as a character, but we just didn't get to see enough of him for him to be a legitimate villain. Probably because they were setting us up for the real villain. Yeah,
and I wonder if they did that on purpose, because it's not like he was a bad person. He started off wanting to do something good, but then kind of went down a dark path.
Which, don't you feel like that happens to so many people in this show? Whether it be Fear or The Walking Dead, it's like this person starts out. Most of the people aren't just bad people to begin with, like in real life or in the past anyway. But they go through something, and something happens to them, and they're so worn down, so then they turn into like the worst human being. Which, not that, I mean, in comparison to some people we've seen, obviously Logan isn't the worst ever, but it just sucks for him. I mean, I would be traumatized if I went through what he did, meaning trying to help people over and over, and then having to listen to someone get mauled by walkers that you're literally running to. And then it just, I mean, it stinks that it happened that way, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, it is. And so we're introduced to this huge oil field, and I'm just like to myself, how did they keep this thing a secret? It's gigantic. There's a huge fire going on. There's like noise everywhere. How is it not, attracting walkers?
You gotta wonder. I wondered the same thing. It didn't make sense, because I thought that the whole thing, these oil fields, and I guess they know how to make the gas now.
Because they know how because of the journals, and so Luciana's been helping out with that, and they came out with like such creative way, like they're using like the walkers to like help make this oil, because they're
pushing them with the little rats, because they have to have the water or whatever it is that they're pushing to keep everything going. There are a few holes in this plot, I feel like, but also I can just accept what it is. It definitely didn't make sense that, I mean, this is massive, obviously. And when we think about it, we shouldn't have expected it to be like secret and tiny, because it is. I mean, even if you've never been to an oil field, you've probably seen one on TV or whatever. These things are massive. So it is a little difficult to have kept secret for as long as they did, but I thought it was also really genius of Logan and how he found out by watching the movies, because you can tell where people, maybe like here and there you get thrown off, but you can tell where the people are traveling because he saw it in the videos. So Logan was smarter than we thought he was.
So he was smart in that part, but one thing where I'm just like, what is wrong with you, man, is towards the end where, the walkers are starting to infest the whole oil field. And the fire is too hot. Luciana's telling them like, we can't put it out. I told you I need to put it out. And Logan, he does not want to leave. And I'm just saying to myself, you're gonna die. So what's the point of staying?
I think at that point it was like he loses or he dies, because that's what he was there for. He can't just leave and walk away. I don't know if he thought that, like, for a second I was like, so is the whole thing just gonna blow up? Like, what happens in this scenario? But I think for him it was like, to see, this is all he's been fighting for so long, is to get this oil from these people that stole it from him and whatever, or they stole other things from him, but and then just to see it literally all go up in flames, I don't think he was willing to give it up.
I mean,
and for me, I think it was almost probably tough. Well, obviously it was tough for him, but it was kind of tough for me to see his people just not immediately turn on him. I mean,
they
thought he was gonna
left
die
there cold and dry,
but like, she could have gotten the walker from his foot.
Right.
I was like, you're gonna let him get bit after all of this? But maybe that was just because I had actually kind of started to like him a little bit, which is bad. But.
I definitely felt for the guy, and one thing that surprised me is when they wanted to actually help him, and I think that's when he turned over a new leaf, because in my head, this is what I'm thinking. He's done all these horrible things to them, or he's been, just such a nuisance to them. And then all of a sudden, these guys are still willing to help him. So he finally decides, you know what? Let's just all work together.
Right.
Put your guns down. They put their guns down, but someone else puts their gun up and shoots him straight in the head, shoots all of his people.
That was insane.
Yes. I was like, what? What is going on right now?
What? I thought he was dead long before that. Not literally, but like I was just waiting. I was actually waiting for his people. The main girl, I don't know her name. I don't know if we ever actually learned her name, but I was waiting for her to shoot him, because like she said, you told us this was the promised land. You told us this was this. And so to hear him just kind of so easily, they don't know what he just went through in that little shed type thing with Sarah. They don't know that he just had this experience where the whole reason why he is the way that he is, he just had it turned around because this girl got saved by this guy who came in and whatever. So I was waiting for them, but then just out of nowhere, and I mean, guns blazing, they're all dead. Right. They're all, meaning Logan and all of his people.
You know what I thought? I thought that so we were introduced to the pioneers at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
I thought the woman on the walkie talking to Alicia was her, and she was like gonna trick her and do something. And
I didn't think of that, but that would have been insane.
That would have been crazy. But before we go further into these new villains, we have a special announcement that I want to tell you guys.
Absolutely. We just want to thank y'all so much for helping us be the ESPN of TV Talk. We love reading all of your comments. If you're in YouTube, on iTunes, listening anywhere, make sure to subscribe, comment, and give us 5 stars. We love interacting with all of you, and you make AfterBuzz so fun for all of us to do. So just thank you for tuning in every week. We love our loyal viewers, and we love being loyal to y'all. So thank y'all for tuning in and watching some Fear the Walking Dead with us. Yeah.
We love this show. We can't get over it, and we always love your guys' comments, and thank you so much for getting in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk more about the pioneers. What do you think about them so far?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Really?
I have trouble with new villains on this show, I think. I was reading a few things before we came here tonight, and it was like, has Fear the Walking Dead finally met its Negan? And I was like,
no, I don't think they're Negan. But you don't have to be Negan to be a good villain.
No, but meaning like as big as Negan, like, the big time villain. To me, it was just such an interesting way. And I've been waiting to ask you all night, or since I watched, because I'm a little confused. Okay, so they come in and they're like, hey, help us make oil and we'll help you do all the good, or help us make gas. I'm sorry. We'll help you do all the good things. We'll, expand it farther and do this.
It doesn't seem like a bad...
No. I fully was like, they're going to all say yes. They're going to say yes. But then they quickly make a good point. We see what happens to people who make deals with you if something messes up. Right. But why? Okay.
Are you confused as to why they killed... Why they killed? Because I'm confused as to why they killed Logan. I don't get why they had to kill him.
Well, they said because he couldn't be trusted, which is why it was, because he essentially was about to turn his back on them, even though it seems like they would have been together and fine.
Yeah.
But what doesn't make sense to me is why they were very outnumbered. But I was like, are y'all really, y'all are just giving up? Like Logan and his group could have done the same thing. Obviously they had less people, but I just thought it was a little like, oh, so you're just gonna be like, okay, good to go. They didn't even say, like, they gave them the one tank of gas and like that's it. So you've been fighting for this the whole time, and that's just it.
I think, well, I know for Logan's people, I think they weren't in a situation where they saw, you know, people getting killed by these new people. Right. For Logan, it was just, oh, here are these people that want to help and want to make the world a better place. So we're gonna do that. And then for our group that we've been watching, they from the first bat, they see them kill Logan and the rest of them. So they're like, you know, we can't trust them.
But why did they give up so easily? Why did they just literally walk away? Because they would have killed them. And
you know what's interesting? They even said, John even said, we've been through worse when he was talking to Luciana. So yeah, that's a good question.
I think they knew. Well, obviously Luciana knew, because we see, you know, the head HBIC with her hand up and she's ready to say pull the trigger. Yeah. But I'm like, I mean, obviously they can't just all be killed, otherwise that'd be the end of the show. But it just seemed a little, I was like, wait, you just got out of this huge fight for this, and now you're just going to be like, yeah, okay, never mind.
I completely agree with that.
I was like, I feel like, and obviously they were just afraid that they were, like, that's the real answer. They didn't want to die.
They didn't want any bloodshed. Yeah.
But I was like, it just seemed a little too, like, okay, you gave up a little too easy.
Right.
I don't know.
What do you think about Luciana being the one to step up to do that? Like, her character has been kind of taken like the back seat this season. What did you think about that?
I think it's a good way for them to move her character in another, to give her a different kind of storyline. Yeah. People haven't been fully loving the Luciana storyline since everything has kind of gone down in the way that it has. Right. So I think to give her something totally different will be a good thing for her character. I mean, I guess she's really the only one who actually knows how to make it, so that's why.
That's true, and they burned the journals. So.
Right. It's been her whole thing from the beginning. But that's also, very important part to what I was thinking before, and you just reminded me of it. I'm like, if they don't know how to make it, they can't kill you. So why? Because they don't know how. So why just give up?
You know, but you know what though? That kind of is smart now. Now I'm thinking about it, what Luciana did, because now they're all gone, so they can't kill these other people. They can't kill Luciana because Luciana knows how to do this.
But they can quickly learn from her.
That's true. Yeah,
I don't know.
That's very true.
I was like, you don't have to. That was a very important part to what I meant before. Yeah. You don't have to just give up and be like, okay, we're gonna walk away because you know how to do this and they don't. Right. I mean, I think the point was like, if you don't, then we will kill you. Yeah. So I understand, but like I said, a little too.
I'm gonna have to wait and see what that's gonna be. I can't wait. It's gonna be pretty interesting.
Oh yes. Her accent too, you know.
I actually really like her. I think she brings a different type of villain, I guess you can say, to the show, because she seems very innocent, but she's not.
Oh,
and she means business, and that's what I like about her. You know, she smiles in your face, but she's like, if you cross me, I'm gonna shoot you and kill you.
Not even me, but like this whole group of people behind me.
Exactly, and she has all these people following her.
But I also wonder about them. What do you think she's talking about when she says, like, we're doing the same thing that you're doing except on a bigger scale? Do you think they're actually doing good for people, or do you think she's just making all of it up?
And you know what's interesting? I'm gonna take it back. I think it was the last season of The Walking Dead where Maggie meets, what were they called? It was the
road people.
Yeah,
I can't think of it.
And she was saying kind of the same thing, wasn't she?
Oh, the people who came to visit, the ones that Maggie left with.
Yeah.
Kind of.
That would be interesting if, like, I know I'm stretching, but that, because it looks, they're both looking for the same thing, like making things bigger and better.
The reason why I asked you that is because when Logan was making his speech, it seemed like they were trying to do some kind of good as well, but on a bigger scale. But I think he was saying that like in, you know, the leader of the pioneers place.
Right,
like,
exactly.
You don't know what we're doing, yada, yada, yada. But so I'm like, what if they are doing something really good, but they're just obviously going about it? But she makes a case for it. She and Morgan are not going to get along because she makes the case for, you know, we don't do things like this lightly, even though I'm pretty sure they probably do. But, you know, at the end of this, there are going to be people left and more people, you know, on this earth and people populating it because we made these choices at the time when we had to. Right. So, I mean, maybe they're actually the good guys.
I can't wait to see for I can't wait for Morgan to meet them and to meet her, because Morgan's pretty much, he's starting to become the leader of the group. Yeah. So that's gonna
I feel like he just is at this point. Alicia's fully taken a backseat. She's painting phoenixes on trees. Right. Which I'm curious also to see what you think about that, because I always like seeing Alicia and Strand together. Yeah. And I'm enjoying that, and I like seeing how it came back at the end with what's his name? I'm gonna forget, the guy who saved the girl.
Oh yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah. The
I'll
new
think of it in a minute.
Yeah.
And I love seeing the two of them together, but like, I'm like, you're painting trees.
I'm over the painting the trees thing. I'm over it. I was over it once I found out it has nothing to do with Madison coming back. Remember there was that rumor that Madison might come back because it kind of reflects on her death and whatnot. Yeah, I'm ready for a new storyline.
It just I was like, you're wasting time painting the trees when you could be doing so much else.
Exactly. So
here we are.
Here we are. All right, let's move on to our special segment.
Yes.
Favorite kill. Woo! Let's do favorite kill of episode 13. I feel like we would have like the same one.
I don't know.
We?
Maybe.
What's you yours? Go first.
Mine's, it's sad because I ended up liking him in the end. Yeah. But Logan, because it came out of nowhere. It was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was mine also.
It came out of nowhere, and because to see this character go from bad, and then I was like, oh my gosh, they just made me like him somehow. It was sad and just shocking,
because I was not expecting them for a kill in this episode, because I was expecting a kill in the finale.
Same.
So I was like, okay, it's gonna be another one of those episodes, and then sure enough, I was like, whoa, what's going on? So yeah, that was my favorite kill. Let's go on to what you shouldn't do while living in a zombie apocalypse.
What should we not do?
We can pick episode 12 and 13.
Okay, out of both of them.
That was really cool.
That was. You know what I'm going to say you should not do? I'm going to say you shouldn't wait around in an oil field that's on fire. Yeah. All of them.
Yes.
Oh, love it.
I know, right?
The more you know.
Exactly.
That was just dumb. And they all stayed around for so long. They
stayed. It was like a daybreak.
Yeah.
When it happened.
And then all of a sudden the fire was just out.
Right. Everyone was all happy and they survived.
Right.
Mine is, I'm going to say, when you're shooting a video for people and you don't want certain people to know where you are, maybe just go in an area that's, I don't know,
just
that
dirt.
You can't, just like that's pitch black behind you, or I don't know, just don't go in an area where you have things that people can notice where you are.
Mile markers.
Yes, the more you know.
The more you know.
I love it.
That was a good one.
Amazing. All right, let's go on to our news and gossip.
Yes.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So this is some pretty cool news. We were talking about Luciana, the actress who plays her. I hope I say her name right. Danae Garcia. She's actually going to be in a movie coming up, and it's called Dead End.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be, that sounds, I have to look it up and see what it's about, but it sounds pretty interesting. She is going to be shooting with Michael Dreyer, Travis Hammer, and Taja V. Simpson.
Go Luciana.
Yeah, she's really excited about it. I don't think I've ever really seen her in a feature film before, so this is going to be pretty cool.
That's exciting. And The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead is such a good avenue for people to do bigger stuff. So props to her.
Right. And then one more that we had, Morgan James, the guy who plays Morgan.
Lenny James. Yeah.
I completely got their two names. He said that he has a huge regret when it comes to leaving The Walking Dead. Yeah.
What'd he say?
And that's...
he wishes he didn't.
Well, no, that it's not being able to work with all the actors who played the Whisperers or who are playing the Whisperers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
he was saying, they are such amazing actors, and he loves the storyline. He hasn't watched all the episodes yet, but he's gonna binge them soon. And that's his one regret.
Well, they do say that like Alpha and those two people, like everyone. I mean, I love them as well, but like just as
amazing.
Actors and actresses, like everyone is obsessed with them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull up some comments in chat, but it's not working. Sorry, y'all.
Sorry, guys. We're trying.
Yes,
we're trying.
We are trying. It's
all right,
not working.
let's go to predictions.
Woo.
And now,
so much.
So much. So we only have a couple of episodes left.
We only have a couple of episodes left. I mean, I would have definitely predicted an end to the Logan whatever kind of drama. But I don't know, because it's tough to see them just doing what the pioneers want them to do, and it's tough to see them just, I don't think they're just gonna lay down and be like, okay. I especially think Morgan's not gonna let that happen.
Exactly, and that's what I think is gonna happen. Morgan is gonna be the guy who says, what are you guys doing? We need to step up and take back what's ours. And
even though you won't kill?
That's what's gonna happen. I think he's gonna end up killing again, maybe in the finale.
No,
I think that's good
because
he can't have that storyline for the rest of however long the show goes on. Like, he's gonna have to do it eventually.
I mean, I just can't imagine. At this point, I can't imagine him killing, but I can imagine he's going to be like, okay, we have to formulate some sort of plan. What he's going to do is he's going to go, let me talk to this lady. And then she's going to smack him around a little bit. Right. She's going to smack him around a little bit, and then he's going to quickly see, okay, this isn't an option.
Yeah.
Because they cannot, it's just like what they said before Logan even died. They cannot continue to do what they're doing, which, dear God, if they just decide that they're not going to do this anymore after we spent 2 seasons on it, I'm going to flip out.
Yeah.
But they can't just stop doing what they're doing because somebody comes in and says, never mind, we're going to take all of this.
Right.
So, I mean, there has to be some sort of resolution. And like how she said at the end, the pioneer, she said, if you ever change your mind, why don't you come right on back? That's definitely got to be a foreshadowing into them going back, into probably Morgan showing up, maybe Strand as well. We have Daniel there. So we have a lot of strong characters on their side that I just don't think they're gonna give up so easily.
Right.
So I can definitely see a confrontation coming soon.
Yeah, and speaking of like so many characters on the show, someone is going to bite the dust.
Oh yeah,
like it's going to happen. The finale is on its way. Like, I really think, and I'm a little scared for Luciana.
Really?
Because I do like her character. I just wish she would have more, and I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but I have a strange feeling
it's gonna be her.
She's not gonna survive. I just have a weird feeling about it.
I still feel the same about John Dory. Tonight, when he was like he and June were in the background, or sitting on the hill shooting the walkers from it, I was like, oh, he's dead. He's trying to save everybody, and one's gonna come up on him. And we did see that happen. Obviously, June saved him.
Right.
But I think that was also a way of like, okay, everyone's probably expecting this. They're expecting a walker to walk up behind him, so she'll save him. And then like he's just gonna die.
It's gonna be one of them.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of them, and that's going to be an awful
it's going to be bad for all of us
episode to watch. But all right, you guys, well, that is all the time we have for today. thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Benny Adams. You can find me on all social media at Benny J. Adams.
And I'm April Whisenhant. Y'all can find me everywhere at April Whisenhant.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you next week. Fear the Walking Dead.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.